was a great win for the pack. As a Jets fan, we needed that one too. Jets chasing that seventh spot.
I have never worked with anybody who loves a team more than you do.
Oh, stop it.
No, it's not a criticism.
The last two hosts who had this chair.
They had teams.
Right.
You are texting me. If a fumble doesn't go the Jets' way, I'm getting emojis. I'm getting anger. I have quite enjoyed this path down your tunnel of love for the Jets.
I just want to be clear. I'm not, fan, fanatic, weirdo. I'm just like,
you love your team.
I would like rooting for the New York Jets. And there is no connection. I was just simply born in New York.
Yeah.
And we moved to D.C. when my dad got a job. And I was like, I don't want to like the Washington Redskins at the time. Everybody likes them. I've always been a do my own thing kind of guy.
Yeah.
Go counter to what everyone else is doing. So I went Jets over the Giants, who at the time were a Super Bowl team in the 80s.
Look at you.
And Ken O'Brien, Al Toon, Wesley Walker. You don't remember those
were
guys.
Of course I do.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Al Toon. Feisty group of Jets.
Wisconsin.
How about Mark Gastineau and the New York Sack Exchange?
Yes, I remember.
Had the poster on my wall. Did you ever have posters of sports teams as a kid?
Yeah. I remember being a big fan of Dr. J. I don't know if we could have. I don't think I could have afforded the shoes he was promoting, Converse. We didn't have any money, but I remember loving Dr. J. And anytime there was a newspaper article and he was in a picture, I would cut it out.
I was a cut out the newspaper guy.
Yeah, and I had this cork wall next to my bedroom downstairs.
Oh my gosh, I had a cork wall. That is wild. I'm not even kidding. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you collect sports cards as well?
Absolutely. I was an NBA guy. I had baseball cards, but I had NBA cards. Okay. I had drawers full of them.
You still have them? You handing them down to the kids?
No, they don't. My kids don't like sports.
I thought for the longest time, the Ken Griffey Jr. Upper Deck rookie is going to put me through college. I could just make it on one card, and of course, baseball cards have gone in the tank. Now they're having a resurgence.
Did you sell it?
No, we have me and my brother. I think I have total 4 versions, four different. The card 4 times. Yeah,
you're very entrepreneurial. J-Mac for the news.
No. Turn on the news. This is the Herd Line News.
Let's go to the Detroit Lions. Do you know any Lions fans, by the way?
I do, actually. Yeah. My wife's from Michigan.
Okay. Yeah. I didn't know that. I'll have to bring that up next time.
Have you ever been to Michigan? What a great state. That's the most underrated.
Yes.
It's a great state. There's so many lakes and...
I don't know if I can get on board with that.
All right.
A great state of Michigan?
Oh, I think it... Have you ever been to Ann Arbor?
I have not.
Oh.
I'll go good. It's a good state.
Charlevoix.
What is that?
Bloomfield Hills.
Sounds like a brand of soup or something.
It's good.
Charlevoix.
Michigan. Hey, I'm from Washington State. Those northern states never get any love. Michigan's a great state.
The one time I went to a Detroit Pistons game, I was like, where's 8 Mile? I want to go to 8 Mile because of the movie.
Yeah.
Like, you don't want to go to 8 Mile. I was like, all right, no wrap-offs for me tonight.
All right.
Detroit Lions, anyway, they are in the mix for a playoff berth. And Dan Campbell says, hey, we need some help. We're not going to focus on last week's loss.
Look, I'm just going to say this again. It stings. It's awful. But, man, it's the best thing that can happen to us, because I think no matter who you are and whatever you do, some of your best work is when you get your face kicked in. Man, when your back's against the wall and you get trotted on and everything's at its worst, you either just stay down there or you get up and you come back motivated and upset with calculated energy and aggression. And, man, you go. And there's a purpose. And so I think this is the best thing for us.
Well, you know what? It's a heck of a message. I can remember years and years ago, Brady and Belichick were just crushing everybody. They went to Cleveland. I remember, I don't know, mid-season or something. They also had a game in Buffalo where Brady threw 4 picks, and Buffalo at the time wasn't very good. The greatest coach and quarterback, they have bad Sundays. You have terrible. How about the fourth quarter for the Niners at home against Kansas City? That defense got shredded for about 15 minutes real time. Sundays, this is not college football. You have really bad halves and quarters. Kansas City and Cincinnati have had terrible halves this year.
The Lions bouncing back this week against Chicago?
I think they are. I do. You don't like it?
I don't know yet. I'm so focused on Jets Seattle. I haven't had time to look into Detroit, Chicago. All right, next up, Lamar Jackson. This is weird, Colin. So he's missed 3 games with this knee injury. They've clinched a playoff berth, and there's still no word. John Harbaugh is saying Lamar will not play until he's fully healthy, and he is not sure if he can return for Sunday's game against the Steelers. I'll just say this. I'm waiting for him to practice. He's not practiced in 3 weeks. How the hell is he playing?
Is the Baltimore media talking to him? Is this kind of a mystery?
It's a little mysterious.
Okay.
So the national media has been off Baltimore. They're unwatchable with Huntley. They can't score 20 points in a game. So nobody's talking about this. But remember, it's Lamar, not locked into the big contract like Kyler Murray.
Is he talking to anybody in the Baltimore media?
Not that I can tell.
Okay. I don't have an answer.
I don't think he's coming back. Now, here's what's interesting. If Cincinnati loses to Buffalo, all of a sudden Baltimore can win the division if they win their next 2 games.
Boy,
They would host a playoff game. Bengals would have to go on the road. So this Lamar thing is mysterious. We should get Breer to dig into this. He's one of those dogged reporters who will look into anything.
Cincinnati, Buffalo. How good of a game is that?
It's a great game. It's a really good NFL weekend.
It's a great, and I get Michigan, TCU, and don't I get it this weekend? I get Michigan, TCU.
How are you going to handle this with their New Year's Eve big plans that you have?
No, I don't have big. I don't do New Year's Eve is nothing. Tonight, my wife's throwing a huge party for our cousins, so I've got to get back to. You and I are taking tomorrow and the next day off.
Right.
Joy and Alex are in, and then you and I are back Friday.
Yes.
But you know what? I'm not going to complain about travel. It is what it is. I'm lucky to have the opportunity to travel. I'm crossing my fingers on my travel.
Yes, good luck with that. Final story, J.J. Watt. I'm sure you saw this right before the show. He announced this will be his final season in the NFL. He walks away after 12 years in the league, Texans and Cardinals. He broke the news, posting photos with his family alongside the caption, Koa's first ever NFL game, my last ever NFL home game. My heart is filled with nothing but love and gratitude. It's been an absolute honor and a pleasure. We should take this moment to say really nice things about J.J. Watt and not talk about the Arizona Cardinals, who just continue to take all the hits badly.
Oh, my Lord.
I mean, this is one of the leaders in the locker room. He's
Listen,
like, I'm out.
I have no idea about J.J. Watt, but let's say they had symmetry and it was a wonderful locker room. Don't you think maybe 5% of this is a mess?
Larry,
he doesn't need to play.
Fitzgerald a couple years ago played 1 year with Kyler.
So I'm out. Yeah,
J.J. Watt, this is unsalvageable. No, J.J. Watt's had a great career. First ballot Hall of Famer.
How about that? The Bosas, it's just amazing how good both Bosas are, both Watts are. You know, you get these families all through professional sports, and it's just like, wow. Yeah. I mean, to make pros, I mean, J.J. Watt was like a 3-star recruit. In fact, if I recall, he started as a tight end at Wisconsin and just put on weight, and they moved him over to the defensive side.
The off-season at Wisconsin before, like, his big blowout year, he was delivering pizza, literally. Like, he was a pizza delivery guy.
Wow.
In college, and now he ends up being like an all-time great player in the NFL.
I saw a picture years ago. I think it was J.J. Watt. He was in Europe. And, you know, in Europe, my mom used to always say this, the houses are smaller, the cars are smaller. And he posted a photo on, like, Instagram or something of him. It was like in Sweden or England next to one of their doors. And it came up to about here on him. I don't think I've ever been in his presence. Maybe I have. But there's just not a lot of people built like J.J. Watt.
Super nice guy, gives back to the community.
Yes, very community-oriented.
Philanthropic, I think that's a word.
Yeah.
J.J. Watt's just a great guy.
Yeah. J-Mac with the news.
Well, that's the news.
And thanks for stopping by.
The Herd Line News.
Albert Breer, Nick Wright, Mercedes Lewis, J-Mac. We've had quite the show today. Back in a second. Live in Los Angeles on a Tuesday, it's The Herd. And brutal I saw Southwest Airlines, 65% of their flights got canceled. Rough out there. So, I went through a little bit, but not nearly as bad as some of the stories that have been reported so far. So J-Mac and I are going to take tomorrow and the next day and kind of chill out, be with family. I got a lot of family to be with. You do as well. They're amazing. I know your family's great. And then we're back Friday, ready to go into, as he said, a great college and NFL weekend.
Oh, yeah.
Like it is the last amazing, because we get college and pro this weekend. It is just locked down. I may open a beer. Trying to be good this holiday season. Okay, we're going to play True or False Tuesday. So you give me an opportunity to predict or guess if this is true or false. Some will sound outlandish, but they're not.
This one's not very outlandish. Gardner Minshew led all NFL quarterbacks in passing yards in Week 16.
Well, I mean, it just can't be right. False. False.
Incorrect. True. Gardner Minshew, 355 in Week 16.
Well, we said he's capable.
Yeah.
He's
and
a
the
more
Dallas defense was hemorrhaging yards.